10 purse, I'm telling you.
Oh, you guys will see what's back here. I'm just saying.
So, who's ready to meet Scott McNeil?
Woo! Yeah!
Don't mind the drunk hobo in the corner.
I thought this was Dante's account. You guys suck. What's even cooler on this side?
Hey! Get out of the prize court! No drunk hobos behind the stage area! In case anybody does not recognize Scott McNeil.
I did. Hi!
Woo!
McNeil, thank you guys for coming. You guys have been awesome.
Time. Louder cheer this time.
Yeah!
It's cold.
It's cold.
It is cold.
You're fine.
I'm a bad Canadian.
He's a bad Canadian. We established this yesterday.
Yes, we did.
We're trying to negotiate with the bar right now to see if we can drink like 7 o'clock on Sunday morning when the game's on.
Oh, I like that. This is a good one. I mean, your staff never drinks on the job.
You guys came in as a gang, didn't you? This mic is like super hot right now. I'm just saying. You? That's me. Oh, you got some explaining to do, man. Hello, everybody.
Hey, just stand there and yell. Then I'm just going to stare at it. How is everybody?
Yeah!
I like that. Look at the eyelashes. Can anybody claim this? You'll have to describe it. I'll save that for my collection. Don't judge me. Everybody has hobbies. I never know.
Do you wanna say anything before we start asking questions?
My name is Scott, and I'm a. How are you? Oh.
He's voiced everything from your childhood ever.
Wrong meeting. I'm a voice actor. I've been doing this for 25 years before the microphone. Now man and boy. Back in the day when you didn't need no fancy microphones. You held up the tape and you know that. That's right, tape.
I just suddenly realized I've been doing this for a heck of a long time. Long time. So that's what I do. What do you do? Starting over on here, we're going to get you to hold on. This will be fantastic. Starting with... One of these days I'm going to just do it. And just, we're just going to talk one-on-one. It's going to be cool. We'll hang out, play a little Pokemon, drink some cards. It'll be all right.
Anyone want to volunteer to share with Scott what they do?
Who's got the weirdest job out?
Shy people.
Like the weirdest job. You don't count because you're already weird.
This guy's job is weird.
Hi, so I talk about cartoon shows on the internet and I'm also a librarian.
Ooh.
I occasionally make fun of him talking about cartoons on the internet.
You're an asshole. How many people here have a pathological fear of librarians besides myself? I had a pathological fear of clowns. I worked with an intensive therapist for 12 years and I transferred it over to librarian.
I didn't have a pathological fear of librarians until 9 ago.
2 weeks overdue!
Sweet.
So who's the question?
Otherwise, I'm just going to stare at you
It's a dead audience.
all day long. Deep in the right
It's
figure.
too early in the con for questions.
I'm sure you've heard of Team 4-Star.
Yes, I have.
What do you think of it?
I am a huge fan of Team 4-Star. It took me a while to figure out. It's like I'm going constantly like, why am I yelling nerd all the time? Why do they keep getting me to sing Dodge? I don't understand. So I'm like, yeah, what's your favorite candy. Nerd. Where's your car? It's out of the parking lot next to the Dodge. What? And then somebody went, dude, you need to watch it. And I did. And I went, that's funny stuff. And now they're doing cons, so we hang out, man. Oh, look, he decided to come wandering in late on his own time. You don't call, you don't ring. Where do you think about it? You could have been lying bleeding in a ditch for all we know. Oh my God, everyone, it's Dave. That's the secret to a bad impression. And then just give it your wish on coloring. So, in short, I would like to sum up my answer by saying that I am a pro Team 4-star person, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. And that concludes the questions part of the evening. Thank you very much for coming.
See, you guys have to ask questions because I didn't prep.
Because I have very little imagination, so.
How did you get started in voice acting?
Oh, damn you and your good questions. Don't make me think. I got started. I had never, and I would say never intended, my dream, my fantasy throughout my life from the time I was 12 years old in Disneyland and realized that the voice of Paul Frees that you hear echoing through the Haunted Mansion was the same guy that did the voice of the Pillsbury Doughboy. And something in my head went, beep! Welcome, foolish mortal. I went, wow, I'm not alone. There are those that would say, you know, I do it for a living now, I used to get kicked out of school for. But I went about it, because I mean, that was something that happened in LA, there was no industry up here, and it was, you know, it was like, oh my God, you know, give parts of my body that I'm fond of to do that. But not a possibility. I had decided very early to be an actor, though, so I had gone through 4 years of full-time hospital theatrical training, blah, blah, blah. Studied my Shakespeare, my Ibsen, oh yeah. And was then, of course, after leaving theatre school, an unemployed actor. As I went, great, joined the ranks. But I have done voices since I was a very small child. They have names for that psychologically now, but I have taken a debilitating, horrifying mental illness and turned it into a fun and profitable career. Thank you very much. I was kicked out of theater school and told I wouldn't make it as an actor. The long and short of it is, I literally almost stumbled into it. It's something I'd always done. I mean, I literally, just...
Twice.
I figuratively, there's no way out of this. I've already done it, it's on the internet. So, you goof. You know, I got in trouble at theater school for always doing voices. That's kind of how I've always been driven. I did a radio play that a friend of mine had written. I played like 9 characters on it. And I went, you know, I love doing this stuff. I'm an agent. I find out what's happening. You know, Floyd made that radio commercials. There's got to be something happening in Vancouver. And did a thing, went in, short with it, and then I got into Doug Parker. It was like, you know, I was doing what I do, which is just becoming people all over the place. With and without the meds. And he went like, wow, I wish I'd met you like a week ago. And I'm like, wow, thanks, why? He said, well, I just finished casting some G.I. Joe. And I'm like, yeah, all right, like what, the cartoon? Yeah. So that was kind of the early onset. It was the beginning of the voiceover industry in Vancouver. So they were starting to work shows up here, and so I said the right thing in the right way, in the right time, to the right people, in the right circumstance, took a big trip over my own feet, and landed face first. So, and now I've done, I estimate, probably 12,000 plus episodes of various cartoons. So I got really lucky. That's how you do it. You get lucky. Come on in. We've been waiting for you. We're saving the good stuff for now.
So, having been in the industry for 25 years, I'm curious how the technology that you use to record has changed, or is it the same as it
You remember I used the word tape earlier? There's an old phrase, and it's still used. It's like, you know, make sure you leave room to get a razor blade in there. Because when I started doing, like, I think that the very first show I did was The New Adventures of He-Man. You did not watch. One of my first auditions, I remember I'm like, seriously, I have to say this? It's like, okay. Scott McNeil reading for. I have the power! And I went, wow, that was awesome. Anyway, started with that, and we recorded on quarter-inch tape. Through steam-powered recording equipment. Then we switched to hamsters. Things got better. Then we went to DAT, and that was cool, and that stuff was on CDs. Now what's amazing to me about animation of all kinds is that there's nothing tangible. There's nothing you can touch. Pixar creates these worlds, these amazing worlds. And you go, there's nothing. You can't pick up a cell. There's no cell. You can't pick up the tape that the audio's on. There's no way. It's just ones and zeros. It's all just binary stuff. That still freaks me out. Such a super silly microphone we got here. Technologically, that's, the microphones we've been using Neumann mics for years because they're the industry standard, everything else. But, and every time I sign a VHS copy of something, I go, times have changed considerably. So that is the direct and straightforward and hopefully semi-educational answer to that question. Does that help? Because you can always complain. If I totally screw up your question, just throw something. You suck! Yes?
What would you say is the big difference, well, I guess in any sort of way, between back when you used to voice characters for like anime put out by Viz and voices and times where you voice like actual Saturday morning cartoon, we'll say more professional jobs?
You know what? That's another very good question, actually. It's something that's sort of often misunderstood about it. Like everybody that saw Mrs. Doubtfire went, so that's what you guys do, right? It's like, no. Wait, my Robin Williams impression. Hang on. When we do the basic breakdown is there are two types of animation voice work. It's prelay, which is the North American stuff, like all the He-Mans, G.I. Joes, Beast Wars, stuff like that. The entire cast is in the studio. We record as an ensemble cast off the script, and then they animate to what we have done. Dubbing, which these days is like 99% but basically taking an existing product in a different language and then dubbing in an English dub to it. You are in a small room with a TV screen by yourself, alone, destitute, often cold and hungry. And you are acting with somebody else's lips, which drives me crazy. So, not only do you have to, as an actor, perform, you have the technical challenge of I would like to say that I did not have. Seriously, walk by a podium, stand behind one, and try not to do it. Anyone who I guarantee, all of a sudden it's president's speech time. You have the technical aspect of trying to make something fit somebody else's lip frames. And 9 times out of 10, we have no idea what's going on in the rest of the show. You don't know who you're talking to or who's talking to you. So if you watch it, you go, hey, that means somebody was paying attention when they were editing and directing because it actually sounds pretty good. The weird thing about anime dubbing, if you mess up a line, which may happen once a decade or so, it's a universalism. So you're in there saying, I will make you this promise. I will be the with a monkey swear it will always fit the flaps perfectly. It just does. It's a mystery to me. Look, not ball.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have a question over here, Scott. What is the funniest thing you've ever had happen to you while you were recording?
You know this is going to be a fart song.
because it's always a farce. First of all, I have the greatest job in the world, especially on pre-late shows when the entire cast of lunatics and weirdos is in there, because I work with some pretty damn creative, pretty funny people. I did a show called League of Super Evil. Thunderous applause from the one person that saw it. Thank you. We had so much fun. You know, we'd be on the floor rolling Beast Wars. We would have to stop tape because, thank you, that one was somebody. It's like going to kindergarten class without a ring. Except after lunch. If we go to the burrito place. Funniest, you know, there's never a day where you're like, oh God, I gotta slave away in front of a hot microphone all day. I'll tell you my own personal embarrassing story, which is probably already on the internet. Playing Wolverine. On the list of gay to ungay in the superhero world, on both the X and the Y axis, Wolverine's up here. Maybe Aquaman's down here. Just saying. Just super saying. So, and again, I can say story for anything. So, Wolverine. And we solve things by like picking up planets. So we're in a session, I think it was a big epic fight scene with Sabretooth. And it's very physical in the studio. We don't just stand there with our hands in our pockets doing stuff together. So some huge fight is like, they're like, wait, stop the tape. I'm just trying to go. Play that back. This was the fart of a 3-year-old girl. Not my proudest moment. Alright, tell me something embarrassing about yourself.
It's time to close the doors and pump in the magic gas now. Soon you will feel very relaxed.
Mother will be waiting for you.
See how I did that? That's voice acting.
I've got a couple of questions. You've done both voice work and video game work.
Yeah.
So I wondered, what's the difference between that? And also, as a voice actor rather than sort of a live actor, is there a difference in the way that you prepare to do a job, to do a role, that whole process of getting it in your head, how it sounds, how it works?
Yes, actually, it's a very good question. Because I do a certain amount of live on-camera, as some people go, real acting? Yeah, you tell that to Mr. Hollywood trying to do an animated feature. By the time they spend 8 months listening to someone like my vocal track and then getting them to copy it, it's a different art form. I think cartoon voice acting is by far the biggest skill set because you have to be able to play 12 characters all conversing with each other. So whereas television, film, put it this way, right now if I'm doing on-camera work, I tend to play people with long hair. I'm about my size in the build, definitely Caucasian. It's very limited. Cartoons can do anything. I have played men, women, children, interdimensional space beings. I did a show called Sushi Pack. I played a small blob of crime-fighting wasabi, who didn't speak. You know, and that's what I learned in theater school studying my Shakespeare. You can do anything in cartoons. It's brilliant. It's the playground. It's when I teach. It's like, this is a monkey bars. Kind of go crazy. Mind you, you bring that into live action television, you look like a lunatic. So it is different art forms. It all still is acting, and I stress this a lot. I mean, a lot of people that want to become voice actors. And I go, well, there's 2 words to be seen in that phrase, and it's voice actor. And, hey, you can do 322 voices, cool. You know what that is? Those are voices. Can you act? Mel Blanc, the greatest voice actor of all time. Never created voices. Always created characters. Always, and there is a big difference. And that carries through to everything. Film and television, it's much more a case, especially television. You know, you just need to be yourself. Just say you. Boring as hell. I've been doing this long enough now, I don't care. So I've ended up playing some real weirdos on camera lately. Because I'm going like, you know what, I'm tired of making this boring. I'll give you something interesting. You're generally not allowed to in television because they have the star of the series, one star, and everybody else is there to move the plot along. Thank you very much. But the approach, you know, you still have to come up with a character that is in all ways, shapes, and forms viable and believable. You know, be it a, no, my therapist tells me that rabbits don't talk. I know they do because I grew up watching Warner Brothers. Because that's the genius that Mel Blanc infused in. He made these things, no matter what they were, real at some level. And that's our job as an actor, no matter what medium. It drives directors crazy working with big celebrities' names that they want to put on the box. Because these may be very good actors, but they're in there going, you know, man, it's all in the eyes. They're in the booth going, oh, this is from a cartoon. You don't have eyes. Learn how to act. Does that answer your question?
There's another one over here.
Okay. No, you get good at this. We got a rhythm going now. Let's go. Good.
I was wondering how it is that you choose how you voice each individual character. How you make them your own and yet individual.
Another very good question. When auditions come in for us, the ideal ones, the ones that I like, everybody has their different approach. I mean, everybody has a very different approach. A lot of guys in the States that do nothing but anime, it's not a question of sort of creating voices and characters, it's a question of portraying stuff in a very realistic way based upon their own thing. Still have to be consummate actors. And it's actually harder if you're doing your own thing. I've never used my own voice in anything in my life. I still have no idea what my own voice sounds like. Perhaps we'll discover together. But personally, I work off of pictures and visuals the most. But generally, you will get a chunk of dialogue in an ideal audition. You will get a description of the character. Sometimes the production staff will give you an idea of what they sort of, you know, we want this style of a, you know, or we'll reference these particular characters or actors, we want something like that, you know, this is, and then a picture. I look into the eyes of the picture and I just go, who lives in there? Absolutely. Unless you're playing a character with no eyes. Like a small blob of crime fighting with somebody who doesn't speak. Then, you know, and plus, you know, you're going into audition against 200-300 other actors. So there's a fine line between. Sometimes it's a case of going, all right, here's what the producers are asking for. Here's a better choice. Or a different choice. You know, I'm always prepared when I go in, and you should always be. You know, you do something, they go, yeah, you know what, that sucked, what else you got? And if you go, oh, nothing, you're going, well, thanks for coming. So if you can bounce back, a lot of times just think on your feet. As far as the actual vocal sounds, you know, they'll say, you know, this character, they want it from, you know, like from Manchester someplace, and they start things. And then just looking to develop a character around it. But there are cases where good casting will start throwing Beast Wars. Doug Parker was casting that. Waspinator was sort of a combo because everybody's in there reading for all the characters. So all the bad guys, you know, and all the bad guys are all sort of sounding like bad guys. Doug was the one who went, use your bubble voice. I went, what? And I'd use his voice at first. I think I used that on anyway, cutesy little bubble, you know, cutesy little character as well. Use that, but make him a bad guy. I was like, okay, so we did this, and then I was sitting there, respect to make him. And I was like, of course, I'm looking out, he's a wasp. Okay, I hadn't seen a picture at that point. So I started to print back, and then he just became a total goof because the writers met me and went, let's just, McNeil's an idiot, let's make the character reflect. So from a technical point of view, a lot of it is just combining A, B, and C, and the more you can throw in. I have this theory that there's actually only 3 voices. Like there's 12 notes in music, in Western music. But you can combine those 12 notes. Excuse me, we're trying to talk in here. Excuse me, you people in the hallway? Excuse me. Tough crowd. The more you can combine those things in different ways, when I teach again, I talk about a toolbox. And this is just the technicality of coming up with voices. It's not the same as characters. But, so you do two voices. High voice. And you do, okay, you got two voices. All right, you know, you suddenly got, well, you know, I'm trying a fairly decent Australian accent. So now you type that, and you combine it in. Well, now you don't have two voices. Now you got four.
You know, say, geez, well, what about a lateral lift? Lateral lift, you're always fine. You know, I said, how? This case, well, it's probably still fun, because we spin on people sideways.
When you add that in, now you don't have two, you don't have four, you have, in simple math, 8. And so everything that you can throw in there allows you to just start pulling stuff out of what I refer to as the toolbox. In anime particularly, stuff like Dragon Ball Z, you know, I was hired to be Piccolo, I think, and Majin Buu and a couple of others on that. But every single session, it would be like, by the way, you're also this guy, 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 go. Bam! So you have to instantly assemble stuff on the fly. So that you can, that's also the technical aspects of being my kind of voice actor. I don't mean like, this is the kind I like, but the way what I'm sort of known is being able to do a broad range of stuff. There are people with one voice, and they are great actors. They do an amazing job at what they do. It's just a different approach. So I tend to talk more about what I know, which is just weird. It's getting very serious up there. Very serious.
I'm just impressed with your back, too. That was awesome.
You want to go right now? Okay, I can see it here because, you know, you'll get Wolverine. Yeah. Steve Bloom. I would say that that's Wolverine. Myself, I can put myself in some place. A lot of actors have played Wolverine over the years. And they are almost always portrayed the same way. Like, hey, don't make me all Canadian on your back. We are Canadians. We have been to Northern Alberta. We know what the real deal is. The real Wolverine. Frickin' give me a Ryan Coke, man. Frickin' pounds right now, man. You want to go? Frickin' shit, man. I'm serious, man. Give me another fucking Ryan Ginger, man. Frickin' pounds right now. Jersey off, man. That's the real Wolverine. Somebody wants somebody to like, dude, you record that, I will animate it. Deal, pal. Never fist bump Wolverine. Just saying.
That just sounds like a Canadian Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that. God, I love that movie.
I think we got a question over here.
You again?
Yes, me. There are Genesis. So what's it like having to do more than one voice for a single show, not for anime, but for Western cartoons? And better yet, what's it like having to argue with yourself?
Welcome to my mind. I think it's tons of fun. Plus, for one reason, we get paid per character. You think you were sad when Dinobot died? I was sad. It's again the beauty of cartoons. If you're doing live action, or television, the very best you can hope for is, hey, I'm a series regular on this, we're going to do 13 episodes this year, I play one thing. Well, in cartoons, I can be working on 12 different series at once, playing 6 different characters in each of those, and record 2 episodes of one show in the morning and 2 episodes of another show in the afternoon. So from a really, really mercenary point of view, cha-ching. Plus it's fun. You know, some shows they'll do one pass and one pass. Like Beast Wars, all that Dinobot Rattrap stuff, everybody else would be like, oh, we're going out for coffee. Scott's got one of his little scenes.
Insolent fan. Perhaps you'd like me to take you off the old-fashioned way.
Oh, should I say, the boy, okay, that, you know, and I was speaking to winter, you know. Silverbolt would step in, strong, proud, brave. And so you just go, I mean, I'm not kidding when I say I've taken a debilitating mental illness and turned it into fun and profit. Yeah. I'm just saying, this is my sincere voice.
So I get to take the voices from the inside and put them on the outside.
Bring me all my hands. And it's also the challenge. You know, can you successfully maintain that? One of the greatest compliments I ever got, again, from my approach to voice acting, was an engineer that I had worked with for years. I did a show centuries ago called King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Woo!
Really?
Yes!
You guys are so weird. I love you.
For a living.
Yeah, I know. So I played in the second season, I played 8 characters on the show, because I actually took over 4 roles for somebody else that left. And Todd, the engineer, he said to me one day, he goes, you know what, Scott? You're the only actor that sometimes I have to look up to see who it is. Anyway. So it's just weird. And it's fun. I mean, really, I get to play for a living. And the more you play, the better it is. Even if you're playing the most despicable thing on the planet. It's like, I did Black Lagoon. I've done a few shows where you're like, this is not Pokemon. This is not Hamtaro. These are bad people doing bad things. And yet, you kind of have to have fun while you're doing it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Somewhere there's an actor that played Hitler and went, oh, it was great. Because if you don't have a good time doing it, it ain't no fun to watch or listen to. That's the instant secret to acting. Right there. I learned that from watching strippers. That's true story. 4 years of full-time theatrical training, blah, blah, blah. I remember sitting in some beautiful people bar one day going, okay, beautiful, stunning, great dancer, you know, it's like, yeah, nice, talk about football. And then there was a gal in there, you know, kind of playing, just, no, but had the audience right there the whole time. It's fascinating to watch. And I went, what's the difference? I went, she's, if not actually, at least creating the illusion of having a really good time doing what she's doing. And I went, that's watching. That's stage presence. That's charisma. So there, everything you need to know about acting condensed in one simple phrase. Fly, be free, become actors now! Doesn't hurt if you take your clothes off, too. Is the trimming hazard?
Has there ever been a line that people have latched onto that you just regret?
That I regret? No. There's a lot of lines now that, you know, when I first did an anime card, like, I've done tons of shows, and I had been doing voiceover for 10 years before I ever went to a convention. It's the most anonymous job in the world. You know, I go to the studio, I go home, nobody stops me. And then the first con I did, it was at Transformers, and people were just like, oh my God. I'm like, what? You know, and it's still anonymous. And when I started doing anime cons, people were like, you know, can you do this line from this? And I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Somebody made me up a big cheat sheet. So now I have like, you know, 10 good Duo Maxwell quotes in my head. A few. I know now, I try to stash a couple away. Other than like screaming no at the top of my lungs at every convention I've ever done. No. No regrets! I regret nothing!
I have no questions lined up now. Let's go question time. So first.
How many cups of coffee now?
7.
Oh, that's way
Disappointing,
less
you
than
were
we
at 6
read.
like 2 hours ago.
No, I know, but they're extra large. It's not my fault.
Ah, okay.
Tim Hortons extra large.
Roll tug in.
I
get an American to say that.
guess we know.
Back over here.
Hi.
Hi. Speaking of doing lines, would you mind saying something mean about Inuyasha and Koga's voice?
Something mean like he ever said anything nice. I'll tell you this, mudface Kagome, you will be my mate. We can get rid of all dog breath over there. You know, in the original script, it wasn't dog breath, right? I'm just saying. Here's a thought on that. Broadcast standards and practices, you know, we have to adhere to them. On the Family Channel, you can't say what the. It implies something. But, I present to you, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my learned colleagues, in the parameters of both the American and the British Kennel Club, all of the characters in Inuyasha are canids of some sort. From my favorite character, Shippo, all the way on. They are dogs, they are wolves, they are friends. There is no reason within acceptable terms of broadcast that I could not walk out there in my fur skirt and say, Kagome, you will be my bitch.
I think we have another one. She's reneging. Reneging on her question.
Red Bull's kicking.
Over there.
Things are starting to get blurry.
Yeah, over here.
Deep in the right field.
I like the reverb when I walk past the mics. I'm a
Wait.
god now.
I just wanted to know, what role did you have the most fun with?
All of them.
That's very good.
Especially the ones that pay. You know what? They're all so different. I would be lying if I did not say that I am to this day very proud of Beast Wars, and we had so much fun. I was a fan of the show. Like, I watched the show because the cast in it was terrific. The writing on it was so good, especially for pre-late North American stuff. Up until that point, it had all been like, solve the world's problems in 22 minutes and then sell some action figures. Beast Wars had a story. It had complexity of character, which you get much more in anime, especially in shows where you have 7,000 episodes to develop stuff. Unless it's Dragon Ball Z, which is just 7,000 episodes going, you know, for hours at a time. I passed out in this video. You know, the stuff I can say, it's like, you know, playing Duo Maxwell on Gun and Win was totally cool because I got to have a duo because I was never that cool when I was 15. Wolverine was obviously one of the coolest phone calls of going, hey, guess what? You booked Wolverine. Shit. I didn't even know it was gay, but still, it's like, it's already cool before you start. I've done weird stuff. I was Hermie the Elf in Yukon Cornelius. Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys. You have no idea how much I was excited. Because I grew up on the original. I'm independent. Not if you don't mind my being a dentist. By the way, we're all adults here. I think we figured out that dentist was a metaphor. He's not like the other elves. He's gay as hell. We'll be misfits together. I will tell you about those. And when I saw side by side comparison, I'll give myself props on that. My Herbie is. The original was done in Toronto, by the way. The guy that was the original voice of Hermie was the original voice of the old Spider-Man series. And I only twigged onto that in watching my favorite person. And someday I went, did somebody just say out? Play that back. This was recorded in Toronto, and I looked it up on IMDb, and I was right. I got to be Foghorn Leghorn in Baby Looney Tunes. To me, that's stepping into Mel Blanc's shoes and going like, Foghorn Leghorn? Yeah. It was Baby Foghorn Leghorn, so it was a little different, but yeah, it's basically you got Cornelius. You know what? I can't think of it right now. It'll kind of 4 o'clock this morning, I'll suddenly sit up, I say it, you know, a lot of stuff is like going, okay, if they want an exact impression, I better sit down, listen to this, figure it out, learn it, train myself to do it, and then throw it out. Doesn't mean it's always there. Give me 2 minutes, and I'm something for it, and a reference. I've done, like I said, 12,000 hours, I've done so many things that are fun. You know, from the darkest and the weirdest to the lightest and the, you know. People go, how come you did all those Barbie movies? It's like, Being on My Little Ponies right now? Ooh, I tell you. Them pony people crazy. I could be in a hardcore, like, Eastern Bloc European Transformer convention, and this book and people will come up with pony stuff. Traveling Santa's ponies on parade. You know, I'm doing musical theater, cartoon. You don't have to wear makeup. You don't have to go to Broadway. It's all fun. Generally, it's like, if you got a favorite, here's a favorite one. You just, you know, oh my God, I'm working, I gotta go talk for a living. Worst job ever. Anybody says that to me, I'm gonna smack them.
Got one over here.
Is it an even question? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Kind of. When you go to drive-thrus, do you do different voices just to screw with people?
Yes. Not often, because it can sort of backfire. Like I used to have, I would do interesting phone messages on my machine, on my C answering machine. And you end up getting like 48 in a row of click, click. Somebody goes, oh, Tim, you gotta hear this. My ex-wife and I actually did this running soap opera on our answering machines with Brick Stone and Rebecca and Dr. Westworth. And, you know, they were little 2-minute, we stopped doing it because it just, and people were like phoning, total strangers were, you guys suck! You guys suck for canceling this! Now I'll never find out what happens, you guys suck, I hate you! Yeah, she is on Rachel Box Productions, getting the phone right now. Yeah, I like to, every now and then, again, when I was married, I was stuck in Superstore, the great Canadian Superstore, and way stuck, like, with 2 shopping carts full of way too much stuff and too many people. And my ex-wife is a couple of miles over, and I can't get through anywhere. Get out of my way! And it was really loud. And she was just going like, oh my God, it's such a big. And we said that, people looked at him just like, people moved. Well, they moved. Perhaps the valves as well. They move. I've come for your souls.
I'm in the back now.
Go ahead, ask me what my favorite movie is.
Well, I get the idea that voice acting as a job is a pretty casual dress code, so I wanted to know, have you
Naked,
ever...
almost always the time.
Have you ever gone to work in your pajamas?
I don't wear pajamas. I have not, but I have certainly seen it done. In some regards, I mean, when I started doing this, you know, those $5,000 Norman lights pick up every sound in the room. So if you're moving paper, you know, that's kind of an oddball skill set in and of itself. And, you know, jewelry, anything that clinks, anything that makes noise. You can spot a professional voice actors become eventually like ninjas. We can move silently. And all of this epic stuff that's going on without making any physical noise. So when I started doing it, I would purposely wear like just cotton sweats. You know, because I was really self-conscious about making any noise, so just cotton sweats, cotton shirt, which for me would be PJs. That was actually just basically a yes and no answer. Once we figured out naked was better, we just started with that. Save for the occasional slapping sound.
You're all really good friends, right?
We are now.
Back over
Remember,
here
especially after that Mexican food fiasco, we get to know each other well. Inside out.
Back over here.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Since somebody already requested a voice, I'm requesting from Reboot Hack.
Turn down your radio. Except I can't.
I am proud to say that I'm in hack. Mom always like, you better not. You push the button. You push. Speaking of having fun in the studio, I was actually the second hack. My friend Phil Hayes played originally, then he moved to LA, so they went, can you do Phil's voice? And I'm like, well, that's what we do. But they would let Gary and I, Gary Chalk, who played, well, Gary Chalk was Optimus on these words, but he was Slash. So they
they had scripted stuff. They had it written, and they would have us do the scene as per the script. And then they would just whip open both mics and say, you guys go crazy. And we just do stuff. They go, like, okay, that was really funny, do something else. Okay, that was really funny, do something else. And they always use the stuff that we, because they let us just remake the Ricochet, we just basically improv. That does not happen very often in cartoons. Sometimes the writers are very precious with their words and their punctuations. Anime scripts drive me crazy because all of the walla, which is just, the gurs, the grunts, the lifts. For some reason, whoever writes, does the translation, they will always give you very specific directions on the emotions that you are feeling as you pick up the potato. They got better on this too when we started doing it. They went, every single thing has to have a sound. I'm going, that's not how it works in real life. If I'm sitting down at a typewriter, I'm not going, So that stuff takes a lot of time. Because you will get the one director that's like, no, we need to do that again. What I was getting was more of an impact than a lift as you were lifting your water glass. Weirdest sound that was ever asked to make? You need to make a sound where your character is being beheaded. Think about this. The sound would be, oh shit! Oh, I thought that was somebody did that. That was just a weird happy accident. So now you know what it sounds like to be beheaded. By a lightsaber. Wasn't bad, that was close, wasn't it? Now yours was better. This is what voice actors do. We hear shit and we're like, original teacher of mine, long time, or director that I worked with, and did a couple of workshops with her. She's like, developing voices again. She was sitting in her car, opened up the door, the hinge went, "Arr." She went, "Arr." And you can start to, you find different places that voices live. And she turned that into a whole bevy of characters. It's like, what is that? Oh, it's the door hinge creep. It's like, you made how much for that? Over a course of 50 different characters based on it in a 20-year career? Good impression. Oh, I can't get it. I have my new favorite sound. I haven't used it in anything yet, but it's where my right tonsil used to live. No, I can't get it. But when you do, it's the grossest sound you've ever heard in your life. And I can actually turn it into speech. And that was just, Monday went, oh, that's a weird noise. You get paid for this shit? Hey! Now, if you're all prospective voice actors in here, some of you are like, dude, I'm totally stealing that, I'm taking it off. You hear it on some show on Cartoon Network, you go, hey! Stole it. Always stealing good stuff. Bad impressions are your best friend. The worst impression you do may become a really cool voice in and of itself. A really good impression will get you sued. Just saying. Just super saying. Dodge, nerd! Those guys. Those guys. Alright, where's the next one coming?
We got about 5 minutes left.
Oh, come on!
So it's gonna be a good one.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I like to do. If we got just a couple minutes left, we're gonna do what I like to call lightning round. Lightning round means we got lots of questions, fire them all out. They're gonna be very quick questions and very quick answers. Starting with you, go!
I'm going.
And time's up.
Going to the manor!
What?
I'm going to the manor this weekend.
Am I going to the what?
No! Shush! No!
What's the manor?
No, nothing.
Am I going to
get bitten on the neck if I go there.
If you pay enough.
I understand.
Really scary nuns who do not want to go there.
I'm sorry, you say nuns?
Scary old nuns.
Oh, it's like, we're talking real nuns.
Yes, like real
I can tell you an experience I had in the hospital once, but I won't.
It's not 18 plus.
Changing the subject.
What was your hardest voice to act?
I'm pretty lucky because very little hurts. I had the privilege again of playing Cobra Commander on G.I. Joe after Chris Lau, the original voice actor, passed away. And, like, let's not lie, Cobra Commander hurts like hell. It's so fucking high and loud. But, again, stealing and taking bits and changing them. Dinobot, from Beast Wars, a century, took the citizens of the planet and I pitched it down on that one so let's take it down about 2 octaves. And then you went this. So I took that and turned it into, I want to burst into cats right now. I almost did the first Canadian national tour of cats. Thank God I didn't. Because whoever did it is probably still doing it in dinner theaters. Around town. All alone in the moonlight. Okay, lightning round.
Now that.
So what character do people come and do impressions that you've done?
Waspinator.
Yeah,
we did not work this out in advance, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman and I have never met. You will notice I have nothing on my sleeves and nothing. I get that. You know who's doing a fairly good Waspinator impression? Is Tom Kenny on Transformers Animated. But they went, we can't get Scott down to LA, so they said, so now Waspinator is being played by SpongeBob.
Waspinator, no one can live in pineapple under the sea.
It's a funny old business that way. But far and beyond. I mean, I get a lot and I hear, but I've had 4-year-old, you know, say, this is the Waspinator, come on, give your impression. And these kids will throw out something. I was like, I want to do a sitcom. The Waspinators. What animals when transforming robot insects move into this friendly suburban neighborhood? Find out on the Waspinators. I'd watch it. That couldn't have been rehearsed better. You just popped that out of me.
Okay. What's one character that you really, really, really want to do?
All of them. All characters ever done. I have a favorite, and it's no secret. I think one of the greatest performances in cartoons recently. And it's a Canadian. Some perfect plan to take over the world. I'm a huge Pinky and the Brain fan. That's why I worked with once and didn't even click that it was him, which is probably good because I would have been like fanboy humping his leg. I'm part of peas in July. I would love to have done that, but I mean, there's so many. I like to do every role. It's cool. And I like to do the ones that have something because it's all right. I love Barbie movies, and they're just fun to do. Like, I get to do the funny shit in the world. And then I get to come back, which is fun. And then I get to go home in an airplane and I'm depressed. I had somebody recognize me in Vancouver, which never happens. And I was in the middle of telling somebody this, and somebody just went, excuse me. I'm like, okay, I did not rehearse this. I swear to God. Are you? No. All right.
Back here.
Whatever hands are up right now. Hey, if you got a question, put your hand up. Everyone, if you got a question, hand up.
If you got a question, put your hand up. I'm gonna run.
And then keep it up.
No, just leave it.
That's what she said.
Yeah, we're doing.
What kind of car
So
are you
any hands that are up right now will be answered. Anyone else? Well, you have your chance. Okay, go.
Of every single character you can remember doing, which one was your least favorite to do?
They're all fun. Didn't I just say this? I mean, there are some that are more banal and uninteresting than
Okay,
others.
go. Next one.
Okay, go.
What car do you drive?
Whichever one I can steal. I drive a silver and black Corvette convertible, which is a piece of poo because it's made by GM. I rarely drive it now, oddly enough. I have a $600 Nissan Pathfinder, 1994. It is my love and my beauty and my passion. And everything on it works. works. If I have to fix something, I'm talking to myself for $1, as opposed to paying twice the price of my truck for a piece of glass this big for my Corvette. Having said that, I have driven 180 miles an hour, not in my Pathfinder. I also have my Harley. Go.
If you were to do a Joker impression, what would it sound like?
Probably terrible.
Can you do it?
I probably could, given 3 minutes to work it out, but I won't do it now. Mark Hamill, okay, quick side note. I remember I had this theory that, okay, did the bus just pulled in? Okay, does everybody have a buddy? Because things are about to get weird in here, I'm just saying. I had this theory, of like, poor Mark, everybody from Star Wars went on to do stuff, and I went, poor Mark Hamill, because, he sounds like Mark, poor guy. I never do this. I watched Batman Mask of the Phantasm back in the VHS days. I fast forwarded after about 20 minutes. I'm like, I need to find out who that is. That is the single coolest, greatest performance. Like, wow. And I went to the credits and I'm like, well, that's weird. It's like, it's the same name as the dude from Star Wars. Man. So they went, yeah, no, he's actually pretty much the shit. And I went, and if I'd known he was going to retire, I would have gone after it. I'm just going to say that right now. Because I know I could do it. But I just played another one recently and I went like, damn, it's good. Yes, okay.
How was working on Care Bears and can we have Grumpy Bear?
I was working on Care Bears, awesome. Because it's Care Bears. And Grumpy Bear was cool because he just got to swear all the time. I got to make up all the words, but I knew what I meant. Frank David Dinobot, one more year. Oh boy, I wish it was an 18 plus. I had a great answer for that. One more you. Give me the Care Bear stare and I'm gonna go medieval on your ex. That's for shit.
I think this will be the last one.
On the very last question, coming to you just before our final commercial break. Go ahead, you're on the air. Caller 1, hi.
Do you ever buy like merchandise or action figures of the characters?
I just steal shit. You know what? There isn't a time right now because I just am not on any shows that are like big merch shows. But there was a time when, if I went into Target or Walmart or Toys R Us, it was weird. And yeah, my entire house is full of little plastic meats. I hate to say it. And you go in and be like, need it, got it, damn it. Weird. The only stuff that I have a couple of cells from Pinky in the Brain. The rest is all little plastic meats. People come over and go like, wow. You're collecting it. I'm going like, you know what's cool? I'll eat everyone.
You design your own?
Dear God. I'm your biggest fan ever. Seriously, I've seen you naked. I know where you live. Seriously, why don't you return my emails? Why don't you ever answer my calls? Why? Oh, I'm sorry, I diverged. I think we are done.
Yeah.
So you guys are awesome for coming and putting up with all of this. Stuff tomorrow, and honestly, if you see me wandering around in the hallway, come and talk, because I get very lonely at these things. So don't hesitate to ask. Sometimes I charge a hug for an autograph.